Let's look at this example of a question on trigonometry. A plane takes off at 20 degrees to the runway. After 30 seconds, it has reached a height of 700 meters. Calculate the horizontal distance that it traveled after 30 seconds. So, if you consider this as the runway, you have the airplane takes off at 20 degrees to the runway. Let us say this is our 20-degree angle. 20 degrees. After 30 seconds, it reaches a height of 700 meters. You must calculate the horizontal distance that it traveled after 30 seconds. I want you to pause the video and work this out for me and then come back. So do so now. Okay, you pause the video and you have done it. Let's see the horizontal distance going this way after 30 seconds. Now, since this is the angle, this side, the angle is on the left, right? And this side over here is on the right. Then this side is the opposite to the angle, to the 20 degrees. And what you want is this side, which is the adjacent. You have opposite and adjacent. Now, let's think of which trig ratio you're going to use. Sine of the angle is opposite over the hypotenuse. Cosine of the angle, that's A, is the adjacent divided by the hypotenuse. And the tangent of the angle, A, is the opposite, length of the opposite divided by the length of the adjacent. Here, this is the hypotenuse. But guess what? You're not interested in finding the hypotenuse. You don't have it and you're not interested in it. You're not asked for that distance. What you're asked for is the horizontal distance, which is the adjacent to the 20 degrees. What you have, so you want the adjacent, and what you have is the opposite. So you're going to use the tangent. The tan of the 20 degrees is the opposite, the length of the opposite divided by the length of the adjacent, right? Now you know the opposite side is 700 meters high. So let's delete the OPP from here and put our 700. So that's the tan of 20 is equal to 700 divided by the adjacent. You have two fractions here. Tan 20 divided by 1 equals 700 divided by the adjacent. We can find the tan of 20 degrees. Where is the calculator? Tan 20 degrees. Tan. Clear the calculator. Tan 20, make sure the calculator is in degree mode, equals 0. Call it 364. Round it off to 364. So that's 0.364. So what you have is 0.364 is equal to 700 divided by the adjacent. So what do? Let me separate this with a line and continue over here. If you have 0.364 equals 700 over adjacent, you multiply both sides by the adjacent. So you have 0.364 equals 700 over adjacent. When you multiply both sides by adjacent, you multiply this by adjacent and you multiply this by adjacent. But guess what? adjacent cancel adjacent. So what you have is 0.364 times adjacent equals 700. One more thing here. You want adjacent equals and everything else over the other side. So you divide by 0.364. Divide by 0.364. Anything you do to one side, you must do to the next. 0.364 cancel itself over here. So all you have left is adjacent. Adjacent equals 700 over 0.364. What's that? Let me put 700 over that. 700 divided by 0.364 equal 1923. So 1923. Right? Meters. 1923 meters is your answer.